Hello my loves and welcome back to Plot 25, and if it's your first time seeing one of these vlogs, or one of our vlogs, how do? I'm Paul.
I'm Jason.
And together we are
Those Vegan Guys.
And this is our third year on our Plot 25, which is quite a large allotment we took on obviously 3 years ago. And we've had a lot of fun and a lot of it's an ongoing big experiment.
Yeah.
And I say that because the lots of questions and advice. I wouldn't have done that. Why did you do that? Have already started vlog 1 of this year. Try not to be such an armchair critic. we would really appreciate that. Just be on the journey with us. When we want advice, we will certainly ask for it.
And have.
But we've done great so far, and we're doing things our way, which seems to have worked so far, to grow the things that we want to eat. And if you want to be on the journey with us, that would be lovely. But yeah, just try not to be such an armchair critic. I think if you're one of them.
I think it's fair to say as well that you know, we're not dedicated allotment people.
No, far from it.
We've got lots of plates spinning at all times.
Drag queen, musician, vegans, vegan channel, recipes, shopping, kitchen vlogs, allotment.
Yeah, and as last year proved to us, astonishingly as it may seem, we managed to get a heck of a lot out of Plot 25 last year.
Oh, we did great.
With minimal input, but we are rapidly approaching the time where it does require a fair bit of commitment in terms of getting the beds ready, thinking about what we want to grow, and obviously getting those seeds prepped and ready, getting the greenhouse spick and span again. Yeah,
and taking, so I mentioned last week that we might be trying to plant some tomatoes, some at home, which we normally do before we bring them down, and some in the greenhouse. Now obviously we don't share every little bit of information with you. You have to give us some credit for our own intelligence here. Our neighbour, right facing, I'm looking at his greenhouse now, Stuart, grew some tomatoes in his greenhouse from February last year with some kind of heater in there.
He did have a heating system in there,
and that's what we're thinking of incorporating. We would have got to that, we just don't want to tell you everything but I feel like we have to sometimes, because otherwise people are going to go, oh no, that's wrong, what you're doing's wrong. So yeah, we might be trying to grow some tomatoes in the greenhouse, maybe with some kind of heating system. As I said, this is a big experiment. As long as we get a load of tomatoes, a load of potatoes, and a load of onions and some salad, we're happy.
It's true.
Aren't we though?
It's true.
And some lovely time down here in good weather where we can have picnics, at which we do kind of throughout the year. Mum and Dad Brom will be down to visit us, no doubt, when the weather's a bit better.
Yeah.
For brews and picnics. Old Joan might come down. She's old Joan. That's mine. Yeah, so we've come down today to clear another couple of beds. Obviously we're not putting anything in the beds at this point. We're still mid-Feb, well, early February really. But no, mid-February.
Mid-Feb, yeah.
As we say, this is vlog 85. 85.
I know.
You've edited a lot of vlogs, love.
It's been a fair bit, yeah. It's been a fair bit, but you know what? Thanks to all of you lovely people who comment, particularly about how much you enjoy the vlogs, the allotment vlogs, how relaxing you find them. That's kind of the way that we want it a lot of the time, in terms of these types of vlogs. And just going back to what Paul was saying before as well, I think the first year that we took on the plot, it was very much us getting stuck in and thinking in the mindset, right, what can we do and how much can we get and how much can we grow? And now we're at the point where I think mentally that's changed slightly, because we realise we're paying rent for the plot each year, but actually what the plot gives us back in terms of our mental health and the fact that the family can come down here and we can have picnics, it's so much more than just a growing space, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, right, here's the facts. Here's the actual facts. We don't grow enough here necessarily to to even merit the cost of the rent, I could buy what we grow.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
With the rent over a year easily. But we wouldn't have this space.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be able to grow things with our own hands from seed and to tend them and pull them from the ground, knowing that we're the ones that planted them and watered them, and now we get to eat them. And there's something beautiful about that. Absolutely. And we may get to the point where, I mean, we're paying like £87 rent per year for this plot,
which I feel is very reasonable.
It's very reasonable, but you can buy a lot of fruit and veg with that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's not necessarily cost effective, but it's health effective.
Yeah. You're getting the trifactor. You're getting the physical, the mental, and the social.
Yeah.
And that's amazing. Absolutely amazing. So yeah, as Paul said, we're going to crack on. We don't actually know how much we're going to get done today.
We're going to try and clear a couple more beds, basically.
Yeah.
It's slowly but surely, all the beds will be made ready over the next few weeks, and that's pretty much all that's going to be going on here. Tidying the plot, moving things around. We've got, for those of you that aren't aware, we've got the most mahoosive pile of compost at the back there under a blue plastic tarp. We're going to be clearing the beds and adding to that.
Yeah.
We've got 2 big compost bins here that we might have to get rid of at some point because they've both got horsetail in. We've got a pure compost bin here. So there's plenty going on compost wise, and you're still thinking about doing a compost,
a bay,
you know, like a bay.
I'd really like to, because I think at some point,
I think you should. Good.
I think at some point as well, it's going to be important for us to consolidate all of this stuff, decide what we're keeping,
what we're getting rid of.
We had a few the reason I did that, by the way, when Paul said about the compost then, was because we had last summer a few scorching hot days, and I don't actually know whether that heat has done what it needed to do in terms of killing what needed to be killed in the compost.
Well, that's why we're not using that blue pile. We're just going to keep adding to it. I'm not going to touch that until next year.
Yeah.
Next season, give it at least another year under that blue plastic to compost.
Yeah.
So we'll probably buy compost, and we've got 2 bags in there ready for tomato seedlings, but we'll probably buy more this year. Anyway, all this gassing, we're not coming here to talk, you know. Work do. Get your gloves on. You know, these random, it's birds. It can only be birds dropping batteries. These AAAs. That just, you know, oh my God. Well, that's one lesson we've definitely learned now after 3 years: spacing.
Yeah.
And we will implement it this year.
Yeah, less is more. Actually,
less is definitely more. Just leave things to actually grow to their full potential.
Yeah. Do this and then I'll give you an hand.
Okay. Some of these proper got to get down there, haven't you?
so just hard to pull out.
Yeah, some of them really deep, and they've got that like, it's like it's a really sweet potato, also that root system.
Well, that's there should you need it. I've got one here as well. Excellent. I shall do the same with this one now.
Give it a rake.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to take a lot now, you know, this year.
Berry Boulevard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to need a lot of work.
That's going to be a dedicated day, that I think. Sort it all out. But we're blitzing through these beds, and that's a good thing.
Well, that's because of the time of year, isn't it? I mean, we've not don't have to contend with a huge amount of weed growth. And like I said before, it's nice to see. It would seem as though the soil is in pretty good condition.
Well, I think that's because we left stuff in it.
Yeah.
And it does help because it decomposes and it feeds, doesn't it? And we're done for another week. No, we've done 3 beds though, cleared 3 beds completely, and hugely extended our compost pile at the back there. We've only really got, well, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more beds to do, including Berry Boulevard. So we'll be down again next weekend. It's good to get our beds ready.
Yeah.
And it's good to know that the soil quality, considering that they haven't been covered over winter, but we've left stuff in them, root systems and things, they seem like really good quality beds.
Yeah, we were both saying that, weren't we, whilst we were kind of going through the process of sort of weeding and tending to the beds. We were like, you can kind of tell as you're sifting and going through the life that's in the soil quality is pretty good. We're not under any illusions that Berry Boulevard is going to take some more considerable work to get the bed back to where it is, and also allow the space space for everything that wants to grow in there, you know. But it's been good, hasn't it?
We broke its back today,
yeah,
as they say up north. You know, when you've got a big job to do and people say, how are you doing? Wow, yeah, we broke its back today.
Broke its back.
Horrible, really, when you think about it, innit?
Yeah, a little bit.
What, you brought your own back? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, so a nice simple one today. We don't want to show you too much of the same thing, you know, but it's that time of year, isn't it, where it's prepping and getting ready.
And so here's what's coming up. We've got tomato seed planting at home and possibly with some kind of heater in the greenhouse. We've got a trip down to Hume Community Garden Centre, which is not too far from us and is a wonderful place to get your seed potatoes, and it's basically where we've got pretty much all of our berry bushes, apart from a couple we got from Morrison's last year. We'll be sorting out the shed because we've got more stuff to put up on the walls. If you want to send us a postcard, by the way, our PO box link is always down in the description. That's what all these wonderful postcards are that you see inside and on the doors from people all over the world, which is just lovely.
Yeah.
So we'll be starting the shed out. Still got to build a bug hotel with the old bread bin.
Yes.
That's a project upcoming. You're going to do the compost
bays.
Yep.
And then of course the greenhouse.
Well, I was going to say we're going to have a real good rejig in the greenhouse, aren't we? And a good rethink and kind of try and sort it all out.
Yes. Lots to do.
It's going to be a fun year. I'm looking forward to it. But I looked forward to last year as well. And then we had mash on many nights from potatoes we grew here. And I was like, this is why we do it.
Yeah.
If you don't know, by the way, I love mash a lot. If you're watching this on Monday, watch our meals vlog tomorrow, and I guarantee there's a meal with mash in there because we had it last night.
I think that's it then, isn't it?
Yeah. Let's call it Tesco and get home.
Yes.
And chill out because we're both back in work tomorrow. I've had a week off. You've had a couple of days off. You didn't see our gorgeous little getaway in the Lake District for 2 days, which we needed. I'll link the vlog up there. It's because it's so nice, and it's, if you live near or have access to the Lake District, check it out. Ambleside Manor, Zeffirelli's and Fellini's fantastic. And loads of you have given us recommendations and did you go here? And we're like, no, we're home now. But now we know loads of other places we've got to go to when we go back
next time.
Yes. Is that it, mister?
Yeah.
I love you. Love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you again very, very soon. And until then, one for sorrow, two for joy in the tree.
There's 2 more down there as well.
Where? 1 for sorrow, 2 for joy, 3 for girl, 4 for a boy. Mad bye. We'll see you again next week. And until then, please be excellent to yourselves and each other. Bye, loves. Come on, brothers.
Aye.